G'day everyone, here's a review of Masters of the Universe Origins figures. This is Series 2. It's finally arrived. It's one of the last series to arrive. I've got later series before this one, but this has now come to Australia from Big Bad Toy Store. So in this series we have Orko, Heroic Court Magician, and there he is in the packet. And then if we turn it around the back, without dropping it, Orko may have unpredictable magic powers, but his loyalty and pure heart are never in doubt. He includes comic book, and there he is taking on Beastman. And then you've got the pose on flying stand for levitation action, twist into powerful battle positions. I don't know how powerful Orko's battle positions are, but there we go. That's the back of the packet. Next up we have Manny Faces, if we can get him out. So he's the heroic human robot monster. Turn head for 3 different faces. And so we've got him there with the robot face. He looks yellowish, a bit jaundiced. Maybe that's a filter on the front there for his kidneys. And if we come on the back, we've got the actor Manny Faces changes his face to portray different roles on stage and in battle. And you can see him there as a normal human, and then you can see him as the monster, and with Skeletor's sword coming into the picture, and the king and queen in the background. So turn, he's human. Turn, he's a robot. Turn, he's a monster. So that's the back of the packet for Manny Faces. Next up is one of the iconic henchmen, Trapjaw, evil and armed for combat. So there he is, Kronos in all his jaw ripped off glory, with his manky head that's gone all festy. So we have here the cybernetic criminal can literally arm himself with any weapon he needs for battle. I love the fact that he's sliding down on the little hook that was on his head, which was a play feature that really didn't sort of come about other than in advertisements. I don't think it said anything on the packet about it. Plug laser gun, hook or pincers into arm, and then open and close jaw for biting action. And there's the other figures from this particular wave, and of course He-Man and Skeletor being the first round. And then the final figure for this is Scareglow, evil ghost of Skeletor. And whether that means it's Skeletor's ghost, as in dead Skeletor floating around, or an evil ghost who works for Skeletor, I think the latter is probably more correct. It glows in the dark though. So there he is. And if we turn around the back, we have a walking horror from a different dimension. Scareglow radiates fear and terrifies his victims. Includes the comic book. So there is that picture with Prince Adam and Champ taking him on. And then we have place Scareglow under a bright light. His skeleton glows in the dark. So there we have the 4 figures for this particular series. So let's open them up and take a look at them outside the packet. So we've got Man-at-Arms out of the pack. He comes with the comic book Double Trouble. It's just a short mini comic that comes with the figure, so you get the same one with all 4 figures in the wave. We have Manny Faces there in all his glory, and we have his orange blaster. So let's have a closer look then. Okay, so Manny Faces, he has all the same articulation as this series, so shoulder can rotate fully. You can pull the arms off as well, so they have interchangeable parts, so you just connect that back in. He has a elbow joint with a elbow twist, quite tight. He's got a wrist joint and he can spin his wrist. His head is it's a little different, but you can actually turn the head, so he can actually look in the direction, and the good thing is that his face looks that same direction as well. We've got it popped out his shoulders. So yeah, and then he twists at the waist, his legs go up, he's got a knee joint, he's got a boot twist, and he does have a bit of a rocker, but he's sort of hindered a little bit by his the cut of his boots there. But they can stand either upright or they can go down into the sort of squat Master of the Universe position. And then obviously his feature is the head, so he's here in robot mode. He's then got his standard face, and the face, at least the yellow does match obviously the yellow of the body, and then he has the monster, and so you can turn the head. I really like that. That's a a cool feature. I didn't realize he would have that ability. So you can give him sort of side-on poses and things like that. So that is Manny Faces, and then his weapon is his standard blaster. Let's see if he holds it in his hand. Some of these weapons are a bit tight to go in. That's a good sort of tight, and obviously then his thumb will hold it, so he can hold his blaster. He can hold it out to the side. His elbows don't bend all the way because of this little armor piece on the back, so he can't get like a straight arm sort of pose, but he can sort of pose with the blaster and with whichever face you might want there. So that is Manny Faces. Next up we have Scareglow. So he comes with his green, is it a halberd? Sort of the spear with an axe on the end of it. So that's just all cast in the one plastic. No details or any paint on that. And then we have Scareglow. So he has a lot of paint on him. He has the eyes obviously painted on, the mouth. He has the black around the bones painted onto him, on his arms and on his legs. And then he has this cape, which is very interesting. It's a very flexible material. It's got some nice texture to it. It sits well. I like how it sits up with the collar around the neck, and then I believe that is part of the cast, the little bit that goes under his chin there. So let's have just a quick closer look at Scareglow. So Scarecrow has all the same articulation. So the cape, yeah, you can, if we pop his head off, so all of their heads come off. Some are a little harder than others. There we go. So if we take that off, so yeah, you can see the cape there. It is quite flexible. It's not too heavy. It's actually, I do like it. I don't know if a cloth one would have been any better. And there is his head, but I'll put his cape back on because I think that really looks good. And there we go, we click him back on. So he has all the standard articulation. So he has the elbow joint, the twist, the wrist. He is obviously in this glow-in-the-dark plastic, other than his pants and his monster feet and the cape. And he can, let's see if he holds his weapon. Hopefully he gets a good grip on it. Yeah, no, he gets a really good grip on that. So he can hold on to his staff there. Look quite menacing. Just try to get him into a pose. And then let's see what happens. So basically you charge him up obviously with some light. And then what I'll do is I'll pull the plug on the lights here in the photo booth and see if we get a glow. I might turn the lights off in the background as well in the office here. Okay, let's see. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's a nice glow. Yeah. So that looks really good. So, ooh, I am the ghost of Skeletor, or I am Skeletor's ghost. There's no possessive. I don't know what he actually means. So yeah, so that is the wonderful Scareglow. So next up is Orko. So he comes with this stand. So there's like a swirly purple magic base just made out of hollow plastic. It's got some sort of glitter through it to give a sort of, I don't know, a blast off effect. Looks like he maybe just farted or something. And then there's a flight stand here. So obviously that connects in the bottom, and then Orko can connect into that. If we take a look at Orko, you'll see that classic sort of Filmation style face underneath there, the big O. He's sort of a little bit of a recess underneath his cloth, and he's got a hole there in the middle. He's very lightweight, like the body itself feels very light. And then he has the hands and his little hat. So let's have a closer look at him. Okay, so articulation wise, his head is that ball. So you can sort of tilt him to the left, tilt him to the right, you can tilt him down, you can tilt him up, and you can obviously rotate all the way around. I don't know, does it come off? Yep, it does. So it's just a standard ball joint there. So you could put this, I guess, on another character if you wanted to. So just pop that back on if we can get that on. There we go. So yeah, you can get some good little sort of movement there, and obviously his scarf will cover up his face, and then arm-wise, his arms will go out. They'll rotate all the way around. He does have the joint at the elbow, which does also twist, and then he has a good range of movement on his hands in regards to forward and back, and then it also turns around. So he's got a gripping hand, well, 2 gripping hands. He doesn't come with anything to grip onto, but who knows, they might put some weapons out in future releases. And then we have this, which I believe we just pop in. There we go. And then we insert this up Orko's date. Ooh. And then, okay, so you can bring it forward like that to have him sort of rushing forward. You can bring it back. You could have him going sort of, whoa, magical, like getting blasted back, or you could have him just up high, casting a spell. So there is Orko. Next is Trapjaw. So he comes with his blaster attachment, he comes with his claw or pincher, and he comes with his hook. And so here he is. So he's got the arm there where you can attach things. He has his big pirate crossbones belt. He has the jaw, which is articulated, so you can actually open it. It doesn't spring shut like the old one. It's just a sort of a, you can, hello, my name is Trapjaw. He has strange dots in the middle of his eyes, which I can't remember from the original figure. It sort of makes him look shark-like. He has his little hole in the head to zip line everywhere, and otherwise he's wearing his green pads. He's got his sort of semi-metallic arm there. He's got the sort of pinkish furry undies, and then he's got the black shin guards, which will sort of stop him from too much ankle rocking. But let's have a closer look and have a look at him with his weapons. So once again, all the standard articulation. He doesn't have as much downwards head tilt, like he really is sort of limited to left and right. There's no real rock there. I think it's because the base of his neck is actually down under his helmet. So this guard is like molded on, and then his arm, oh, there is, look at that, you can actually, there is a joint there, so you can bring it sort of in and out. Oh, that's really good. And it twists all the way around, so that's cool. I didn't realize that. And then there is a joint there at the elbow and a twist, just like all the other figures. I'm assuming his arm doesn't come out on this side, but this one obviously can come apart. He has his little belt on, it's done up at the back there. It does have the little hooks for his extra weapons. So let's see. So his laser, it's just, you just push it in, gets a good grip. I think it's that way around with the scope on top. So there he is with his laser. You can have his mouth open as much as you want, and then you could have his hook there and his claw there. So he has all of his weapons stored on him, which is quite handy. And that is the new and improved Trapjaw for Master Origins. Okay, so that is Series 2, which is one of the last series that I've received. There's still a couple more, I think, that have been, well, at least one that's on pre-order, which is the Lords of Power Beastman series. So there we have. So out of these 4, it's a tough call. I'm partial to Manny Faces because I had him as a kid. And I do like the fact that his head now is able to swivel, and the mechanism for his face works really, really well. The only off-putting thing is that he seems a bit yellow compared to the original figure. Orko looks great. He is sort of very Filmation accurate. I do like that. I think the blast on the bottom is a bit of overkill. It probably would have been better with just a clear flight stand, just so you could sort of pose him to make it look like he's actually floating. I mean, I guess it looks like he's appearing in a puff of magic or something like that, but yeah, it doesn't work for me. Trapjaw is great. He's one of those, you know, classic figures that I never had as a child, but I when I finally got him, you know, he's one of the, you know, the mainstay bad guys. So again, you know, from the Filmation comics, from the Filmation TV show, from the mini comics, he was always sort of one of the key henchmen. And Scareglow, again, didn't have Scareglow as a figure. He was towards the end of the line. I'd sort of not lost interest, but I was sort of pretty happy with the original. I can't even remember if he hit stores in rural Victoria where I was. But Scareglow, I do like that cape. So of the four, I'm going to probably say Scareglow with that glow was probably my favourite. And then next would be Orko, then Trapjaw, and then Many Faces. So those are the Masters of the Universe Origins Series 2 figures.